This is a quick presentation of the differences between the first version of the Ultimate Budget Spreadsheet and the new version 2.0. This video is for people who purchased the first version and already know how to use the spreadsheet, but would like to quickly know the changes that were made to the new version. So if you purchased the first version and would like the 2.0 version, you can download the new PDF file with all the links in your Etsy account or in my shop, LowStressLife.store. And if you have any issues getting the new version, feel free to send me a message with your order number or purchase email, and I will send you the new version. So in the Setup tab, the first change is in the Debt section. And it is about credit cards. In this version, you can either write your credit cards in the Debt section or in the Accounts section below here. So how to know where to put the credit cards? If you don't have any issues repaying your credit balance in full each month, you can write those credit cards in the Account section below here. But if there are any credit cards you use but struggle to repay in full every month and regularly incur credit card debt, then you should write those in the Debt section here. And if you're not sure about credit card, just write it in the Debt section. And this is why in this version, you have to make sure you tick the checkbox when you write down your credit cards in the Debt section, so the spreadsheet can know they are credit card debts and not normal debts. The rest is all the same until the Accounts part. This part functions the same way, however, there is this extra table on the right to show you which credit cards you have already written as debt, so you don't write them again as normal accounts. So you can see I have two credit cards I don't have any trouble repaying, and this one I have trouble repaying every month. And now let's move on to the only change of the Annual Budget tab. It's at the bottom. I have added a table for the 50-30-20 principle. This principle is that some people like to budget into three categories. They want to spend 50% of their income on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings/debts. With this table, you can see the percentage you have budgeted in these three categories. But you don't have to do 50, 30, 20%. You can choose the percentages that best fit your situation. This table is simply here to help you see the breakdown of your budget in these three categories. Now, some of your saving might actually have the purpose of buying something you need or something you want instead of saving for the long term. So you can go to the 50-30-20 tab. And on the left, you can adjust if you would like a saving category to be saving/debt, a need, or a want. And this will update in the Annual tab too. And I will explain this new tab later in the video. So now let's see the changes made to the Transaction tab. As you can see, instead of a simple column for the accounts, there are now two columns, the From column and the To column. And it is very straightforward. You can write down from which account the money was taken from with the From column and to which account the money was put into with the To column. For example, for an income transaction, you can see I wrote the account the money arrived in the To column. But for a bill or an expense, I wrote, so for example, let's see here, I wrote the account, in this case a credit card, in the From column, as the money is taken out of the credit card. However, debts are different in this version. As you can see, for this debt, I did not write, you cannot write the category of the debt in this column. It is now to be written with the Accounts column. For example, I paid this debt by using money from this bank account. So this is the account in the From column. I took money out of it and I put it into the Debt category. So it's not in the To column. So you can see here, I have my bank accounts, my credit card accounts, and I also have all of the debts that I wrote down. Now about the savings transactions, they can have no accounts selected. So that just means that you allocate your income to your savings category, but the money does not move. It stays where the income was. But you can also choose to move it from one bank account. For example, I'm going to move it from here to another bank account. So this is now done all in one single transaction line. Now, how to log a balance transfer? It is also now only one line. For example, this one, you can see it's a balance transaction line, and I moved $2,000 from my Chase bank account to my Wells Fargo bank account. It's the same principle for paying back credit card. So let's see if I find one here. Yes, actually. Here I'm paying back $8,394. I take it from this bank account and I repay the credit card here. And for example, if you take out cash, I would have this means that I'd take out $8,000 in cash. And for the transactions tab, there's also this new extra column to quickly filter by month. So for example, I only want to see the February transactions. So I go in the little triangle here, I deselect everything by clicking on clear, and I select blanks and February. Here you go, you click on OK, and I see only the February. You can also sort Z2A, you would choose Z2A to not see the blanks at the top. And then you can change it back to normal by selecting everything again and ordering by date from A to Z this time. And that's it for the Transactions tab. Now let's go into the Accounts tab. It looks like the previous version, it just have a bit more graphs on the right. And also you can see here, this is a debt credit card, and it shows in the accounts in this version. Now about the Debt tab. It functions just like before, the concept is the same. However, now the debts are differentiated between a normal debt, like a mortgage or a student loan, and a credit card debt. So the calculations are different now. For debt with regular fixed payments, like a student loan, interest is calculated automatically within the spreadsheet, and all you have to do is log your debt payment each month. So for example, $395, and that's all you have to do. Everything is taken into account in the spreadsheet, and it's just like before. However, for credit card debts, it is different because you can use your credit card even when paying off credit card debt. So it means that the balance and the interest can change regularly, and the spreadsheet cannot track this accurately. So due to this difference, and to make sure the balance is as close to accurate as possible, you will also need to write any interest yourself that has been charged on the credit card. For example, I will show you if I go in the Transaction tab. So this is here me taking from my bank account the debt payment that I put back in the credit card. And here is the interest that was added to the credit card. So to summarize, if your debt is in the credit card, you can do exactly like in the previous version. Just write down the debt payment in a Transaction tab. But for credit card debts, you write the debt payment and also the interest that you have extra on your credit card. So that's it for the debt part of the spreadsheet. Another change is the 50-30-20 tab. This is the tab to analyze your actual spending towards these three categories. It is not linked to the annual tab, it's an extra tab. And in this table on the top right, you can see here, you can choose the percentages for your goal. So you need to make sure, for example, I can do 60, 20, 20. But if I had put 10 here, it's equal to 90. So you can see here, there's a little message that says it's incorrect. But if I put back 20, here's all good. So that's just to make sure that this is equal to 100%. Otherwise, the calculations won't work. So please be careful of that. And here you can see the actual percentages breakdown for your actual spending. In this graph, you can see here is the same as here, the actual breakdown of your spending. And in the graph with the less opacity, this is the goal. So you can compare very easily with this graph. Then here you can choose which month you are analyzing. For example, here I'm going to analyze February. And there is also all year. So that's the 12 months of the spreadsheet that you can analyze. In this graph, you can see the amount left to spend. So for example, your income was here. This is your spending, but there's actually some money that is not taken into account because you haven't spent it yet or allocated it somewhere in this. And as we said before, here you can change if a saving is actually a need or want. And here you have the actual spending breakdown for each part, and you can see it's ordered from the highest amount to the lowest. And the last tab to check together is the net worth. This works the same as the previous version. You just need to be careful here when you put your credit cards. You only select the credit cards that are not in the debt section. So those were put into the account section. And here you can put, because it's debt section, you can put the credit card that was in the debt section. And the calculation is always automatic, so that works well. And that's it for the presentation of the changes to the Ultimate Budget spreadsheet. If you have any questions, send me a message and I'll help you out. All right, bye-bye.